Denmark has had a long, long history of excellence in the world of classical ballet. And it goes back centuries. And they have a style which is a Bournonville style. And Bournonville was the guy who really put them on the modern map. And out of that came this teacher, Stanley Williams. He's got this kind of English name, but he was a pure Dane. And when he came, he was just an amazing teacher. And the first day actually Balanchine said, I'm bringing this man from Denmark, Williams, and he knows how to make people move. And the thing was, with Balanchine, he came to Denmark. They were doing his palace, but his wife at that time had gotten polio. So, and it was in the Nordic areas. So it was probably Sweden or something like that. So he had nothing to do. He went over to Denmark. They had invited him. He rehearsed some of its ballets, and then he went in to see a class. He stayed 20 minutes, didn't say a word to anybody, and saw this man, Stanley Williams' class. And within a couple of months, he sent him an invitation, never spoke to him, never spoke to anybody, and invited him for 3 or 4 months or something to teach George Balanchine's class, the company, the New York City Ballet. And Stanley came. First day he arrives, all of us are in the men's dressing room, and Stanley comes up to me and asks me how to find a bus to get back and so on. And I said, gee, this is a really nice guy. And that's starting a lifelong friendship, which only grew. But out of that, certainly I could have a conversation with him. I could go to the old Carnegie Tavern, which was across from the city center's backstage. And we could sit there and talk ballet. And it was just an amazing ability to talk with a master like this. And Balanchine was a man of few words, but he demonstrated. And his English was fine, but he was not as comfortable. He was more comfortable, obviously, in Russian or French or things like that. So I never had those kinds of intimate conversations, real conversations, and talking about the balances. We pass through balance. That's all we do. So we find it. So we're constantly moving. So that was a major influence for me. And then Stanley said, listen, if you ever want to come to Denmark, I'll talk to the administration. And he did, and they invited me to dance. So I danced with a Danish woman, ballet she'd put into Tchaikovsky, and I had a big success, and I was invited back again. But the thing was, I got to know not only the Danish ballet, but I got to know the Danish people. I got to know the city. I got to know the comfort. And the Danes are simple and direct. And they're right there in your face. And they love their snaps. So, because I was a guest, they provided parties, and everybody wanted to give me a party. And in Denmark, you don't drink alone. You always say, "Skål." And you look right in the eye and you say, "Skål." And you go around the room, and if you're the guest, by the time you're finished, it's a little woozy. But that's who the Danes are. They're almost, in the ballet world, they're almost childish. You know, there's a sense of pure naivete. And that sort of naivete prevails. And they have, they like to promenade. So they, on the weekends and things like that, they promenade around their city. And it's a charming place. It has nothing but charm. And I liked it. I really appreciate it. And certainly I appreciate it to be appreciated. So Denmark was a remarkable circumstance. Plus, one of their principal dancers, who was about my age and about my size and all of that, and he stopped and said to me, "You know, you have shown us steps we've never seen before." So there's that whole kind of innocence, naivete, and isolation, if you will, because it's a tiny, isolated country. So I actually loved Denmark. I loved the Danish people, and I loved how they accepted me, allowed me to be part of their community. So it made me very, very comfortable. The problem with Denmark, of course, because it's such a Nordic country, go in the summer. And if you go this summer, the sun wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you go in the winter, by 3:30, it's black. I mean, it's an oddity. You know, it's not a place I wanted to be year round, but it was a place that provided you with acceptance, with cordiality. They were wonderful guests, and they made you feel like a very, very no. Let me rephrase that and say they loved guests, and they made you feeling a guest. And they treated you like an honored guest. So their job overwhelmed. And I haven't been in Denmark in a long, long time. So one time I'd like to go back, but when that will be, I don't know.